This is iFIBER 1 News. Here are today's top stories.
Soap Lake schools were in a lockdown Friday morning as a precaution after reports of a possible threat on social media. The Grant County Prosecutor's Office has been recused from David Nichols' murder retrial due to conflict of interest.
When it was all said and done last year, the Royal Knights boys basketball team finished fourth in state with an overall record of 23-5.
The Sunnyside Grizzlies paid a visit to the Eastmont Wildcats, who were wrapping up their regular season schedule Wednesday on senior night inside their home gymnasium.
From the iFIBER 1 newsroom, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Soap Lake schools were in a lockdown Friday morning as a precaution after reports of a possible threat on social media. A third party reported to police about 8 a.m. a threat posted online, believed to be directed at Soap Lake schools. The reported threat was initially thought to involve a possible shooting, although there was no mention of a gun in the threat. Police Chief Ryan Cox said the social media post stemmed from a threat made by a 13-year-old student who was upset with a friend who had learned his older brother was a potential suspect in a burglary at the friend's home. Cox said the boy's father tried to remove the 13-year-old from school during the investigation. The older brother also reportedly got between the two parties and was later arrested for obstructing law enforcement. Chief Cox said the lockdown was lifted just before 10 a.m. and no students were ever in danger. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by...
Change doesn't have to be complicated. With a low-profile microwave hood combination that's ready to install right out of the box. It fits in the same space as your under-cabinet hood, so you can get your microwave off the countertop and make space for the routines worth keeping. The low-profile microwave hood combination, from the #1 selling appliance brand in the USA.
Whirlpool Appliances, now available at more furniture in Ephrata.
The Grant County Prosecutor's Office has been recused from David Nichols' murder retrial due to conflict of interest. An appeals court previously reversed a first-degree murder conviction against Nichols in the killing of Ephrata resident Sage Monroe in 2009. The appeals court ruling was due to an error in language in jury instructions. Grant County Prosecutor Garth Dano previously represented Nichols in the original murder trial. Dano was recused from the retrial and has had no participation at any time in the case as a prosecuting attorney. After Nichols' case was remanded to Superior Court for a new trial, Nichols' defense attorney moved to disqualify the entire Grant County Prosecutor's Office from further participation due to Dano's conflict of interest. A Grant County judge denied the motion but recognized there were substantial grounds for a difference of opinion and ordered an immediate appellate review of the decision. Appeals court judges ruled Dano had privileged information during his association with Nichols' defense team during the first trial and likely engaged in confidential attorney-client communications following the jury's verdict. Appeals court judges say due to the seriousness of the charge, there's no way to fully wall Dano off from the case to prevent him from being aware of the resources committed to the Nichols case. A retrial date has yet to be set, and the prosecutor's office has not indicated who will handle the case in their absence. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by...
Your taste buds bored? Well, then bring them to Jay's Teriyaki. Not only does Jay's have a variety of teriyaki dishes, they also offer mouth-watering salads and sides. Call Jay's 509-764-5155. Jay's Teriyaki, located at 123 East Broadway in Moses Lake, because it's all in the sauce.
When it was all said and done last year, the Royal Knights boys basketball team finished fourth in state with an overall record of 23-5. 2 of those 5 losses came by the hand of Natchez Valley, which made regionals but missed state. The Natchez Valley Rangers are also one of the 2 teams to ever beat Royal head coach Ray Valle in Royal since he took over last season. So despite being the better team and the hotter team on a 12-game winning streak, this game brought some jitters to Valle. The Knights responded by pouncing on the Rangers early. After the first quarter, the Knights led 22-10 and maintained that 12-point lead for most of the game. Late in the third and into the fourth, the Rangers fiercely fought back and brought the game within 2 points, 42-40. That's when Royal senior guard Owen Ellis drilled a pull-up 3-point shot, which instantly swung the momentum back in the Knights' favor. Royal went on a 12-point run, with 9 of the 12 points coming from Ellis. The Knights ultimately won 63-47, and Ellis finished with 33 points, leaving him just 15 away from scoring 1,500 points in his high school career.
I don't know, I just get it in me, and I'm like, we gotta stop these guys, you know. And they were sagging off, so I was like, you know, I can shoot, so I pulled it and it went in. So.
Senior Sawyer Jenks was pumped to get a win on his home court in his last home game as a Knight.
I mean, it feels pretty good. I mean, we came in here as a hard-fought game, and they made their runs, but we battled back, and we came out on top. I mean, last year, we played them in Riverview. We didn't play very good, and they ended up beating us by a good amount. So, I mean, it feels good to come out here and give it to them a little bit.
The Knights will now take on the SCAC West #1 seed, Zilla. That game will be Saturday at Zilla Middle School. Tip-off is at 6:30 p.m., and the winner will advance to the SCAC Championship. I'm Adam Chikoski for iFIBER 1 Sports.
The Sunnyside Grizzlies paid a visit to the Eastmont Wildcats, who were wrapping up their regular season schedule Wednesday on senior night inside their home gymnasium. After the pregame pageantry had finished out, Eastmont came out of the gate firing on all cylinders from both inside the paint and behind the arc. But the 2-8 Grizzlies proved to be no pushovers and matched the Cats' early intensity by building a lead of as much as 6 through the first quarter, which ended up knotted at 19 apiece. Over the game's next 8 minutes, the Wildcats turned to the hard-charging efforts of senior forward Kalen Massey to bolt back in front, and then called upon junior forward Isaac Wellborn's rainbow of three-pointers to stay there until halftime, although Sunnyside kept things close at 36-35. In the third quarter, the continuation of the white-hot shooting by Wellborn, along with Massey's interior work and that of senior forward Tanner Nelson, saw Eastmont open up their largest leads of the contest, including by the count of 53-48 into the final frame. However, a reversal of fortunes occurred during those last 8 minutes of regulation, as Sunnyside's shooting came out of the shade to overcome the 5-point deficit and even grabbed the lead at one point. The Grizzlies outscored the Cats 18-13 in the fourth quarter to tie the score at 66 and force overtime. In the extra session, Eastmont's flash fire bucket only seconds after the opening tip helped them get off on the right foot in extra time. And although Sunnyside did their best to keep pace, the Grizzlies eventually fell to the shooting of Wellborn and senior guard Preston Esparza, whose clutch free throw shooting down the home stretch of OT helped the Wildcats bag an 81-75 victory. Eastmont's postseason will begin with an appearance in next week's district play-in game against either the Moses Lake Chiefs or the Davis Pirates. Reporting for iFIBER 1 Sports, I'm Chris Hansen.
This is iFIBER 1 News. For more information on these stories and other news, visit us online at ifiber1.com or check us out on Facebook.